So, good evening. I had worked out a whole thing to read, but I'm tired, so I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to give you the 1-2 on what my day was, and maybe some insights or something will come out. If not, I'm just leaning into the consistency of showing up and seeing what comes out because I don't feel like reading. Um, Today was a really good day. I went to a meetup group. It was really engaging. It spoke about archiving family lineage and things like that, and connection and being together um, as a family, as friends, supporting one another and whatever your endeavors are. And that was a great meeting. I also had a few meetings with some business partners and friends that we are working on some projects together, and it's amazing. Nope, this is not working for me. Maybe it's the light. Maybe it's too much light. I'm supposed to be talking about creativity and business from the perspective of either Maharishi Vedic Science or consciousness and human potential. So, what do I have to say about that? In what ways was I creative today? Uh, I do not know. Today, I just went and handled some errands. Basically, I went to a Black people meetup group here, Black American meetup group here in Lisbon, which was awesome. We talked about archiving family lineage and things like that. Um, I usually go to that meeting every Wednesday morning, and it's pretty cool so far since I've been here. And I also go to a Black American Sunday brunch here in Lisbon, which is pretty cool. And the rest of those days I spend just getting into the culture, connecting with the people around where I live at, and walking, seeing the city down by, I guess that's the bay, um, down by the water, and then up in these mountains and hills that are so intense walking up and down, but amazing because the views are so beautiful. Um, I went and got me a new pair of glasses. Though I don't have yet, but I had my eye exam, and because I broke my glasses like weeks ago, and I just never got them fixed. So I did that today. Um, I also broke my computer 2 weeks ago. Don't judge me. I was really tired. I was sleep deprived. I was staying in a hostel, and now I'm finally in a studio apartment and getting proper sleep and meditation. So I'm good, or getting there. But my computer screen was completely shattered. So I went and figured out what it needs to be done to get it fixed. And they were like $450 to get my screen fixed. And I'm like, nah, not paying that because one, I don't have that. And two, um, I paid 450 for the computer like um, not even maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So we Jimmy rigged it and found out that it's still working, and all I need to do is hook it up to a monitor and I can still use it. But little good a monitor is going to do for me because I'm traveling around backpacking here and there, so I can't have a monitor attached to me unless I find one the size of a Chromebook, which I'll do, I guess, at some point, or just get me a new computer. Excuse me. And let's see, what else did I do? I had 2 meetings with amazing friends today about some projects we started. I wrote some poetry today. I wrote an article that I'm working on about spirituality and sexuality, which is nice diving into all the different research from the perspective of different religions like Sufism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, and how these different cultures approach sexuality and spirituality. And was it always so taboo, or is that just a new thing that's happened where sexuality has become taboo and things like that? And then I looked at it in light of the DEI rollback in America and like how that is affecting um, transgender people and LGBTQ plus community, so many things like that. And seeing, what comes out of my writing. Right now, it's just sort of poetic researcher musings at the most, and then, maybe at minimally or at the least, it could be some sort of jump off point for discussion. jump off point. Probably shouldn't use that terminology, jump off, when I'm talking about sexuality and spirituality, but you know what I mean. So I did that writing today. I drank some tea in a cafe, and it was just nice to just chill there and like connect and write. I would read some of the poetry, but it's a little bit explicit. So just because of the nature of the subject I was writing about, that's what came up. I'll save that for another time. Um, what else? My meetings with my business partners are always amazing. I always learn so much from them. Very insightful people, um, emotionally and mentally and spiritually, socially aware and attuned. Always great connecting with them. And for the most part, that was my day. I did some walking. I think I walked like 6 miles, and yeah, just enjoyed the city. I also did a little bit of reading. I have a friend's article here, and she explores Dharma in light of Maharishi Vedic Science and um, what is it? Eudaimonic and hedonistic well-being, which is pretty cool. And maybe I might read a little bit of that because she has these points in here that she expertly points out about, you know, what it takes or what are some attributes of being a fully realized person that's in attunement with their dharma. And maybe I'll read you a bit and then I'll go over some of those points. Maybe that will be useful in terms of what it means for creativity, what it means for business, because one of the things that Dharma means in this article is duty. I mean, Dharma means a whole mess of things, but in this article, at least this section of it, she's connecting it to duty. And we, for the purposes of this channel, can connect duty to business or ink. And like being in the flow with that. And when you're in alignment with that, how it can create some sense of fulfillment and intrinsic value, as well as extrinsic value. Intrinsic, extrinsic, yes. Okay, so yeah, let's just give a little bit and then I'll go to the points. She writes, the notion of thoughtfully moving towards Dharma by cultivating more meaningful fulfillment over time through the discovery of one's duty and the development of character and virtue, even while desired, seems a luxury few have time or energy to pursue. So we have become a society of consumers in the quest for pleasure. And though this hedonistic form of seeking happiness does indeed generate positive emotions and is necessary and desirable element in life, what is missed is the deeper eudaimonic, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, eudaimonic form of well-being that comes from working towards a life of meaning and noble purpose, one beyond self-gratification, indicative of a dharmic life. Psychologist Carol Riff, 2014, writes of these two kinds of well-being. Aristotle claimed that the highest of all human goods is not happiness, feeling good, or satisfying appetites. Instead, it is about activities of the soul that are in accord with virtue, which Aristotle elaborated to mean striving to achieve the best that is within us. Eudaimonia, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, thus captured the essence of the two great Greek imperatives. First, to know yourself, and second, to become what you are. Though hedonism and eudaimonia, oh, excuse me, yeah. Though hedonism and eudaimonia are concepts of well-being that have been with us since the ancient Greeks, and I imagine before that, most of the empirical research in previous years has focused on the hedonic form, including survey studies and on happiness and satisfaction. Okay. And now I want to go through some of the points that are really interesting. because she goes over Maslow's characteristics of a self-actualizing person and a couple of other people's perspective on it. But I just want to read some of the points, starting at 1. Actually, I'll just read the beginning of at least this page. And this is a quote that she has here that she got from Cohen, Bavishi, and Razansky, 2016. Okay, and it's saying that human life will never be understood unless its highest aspirations are taken into account. Growth, self-actualization, the striving toward health, the quest for identity and autonomy, the yearning for excellence, and other ways of phrasing the striving upward must by now be accepted beyond question as a widespread and perhaps universal human tendency. I love that. Through the qualitative method of biographical analysis, Maslow, 1954, reviewed the writings of biographies of 18 people he determined to be self-actualized. From this, a set of 15 qualities emerged that seem common to the self-actualized and uncommon in the general population. This is what I find incredibly interesting. It is clear that these characteristics define right action or right ways of thinking that are descriptive of someone living a more dharmic life, and so can be thought of as qualities to which we might aspire. Like, please let this mic be on. So 1, more efficient perception of reality and more comfortable relations with it. Maslow used the term the innocent eye, an unusual ability to see the truth beyond the surface confusion or deception in people, politics, art, or science. The unknown is an opportunity rather than a threat. Really useful right now, right? Or I guess always. 2, acceptance, self, others, nature. Self-actualized people can accept imperfections in themselves and others in the same way they accept nature as it is. 3, spontaneity, simplicity, and naturalness. In their naturalness, self-actualized people may be more human, more revealing of the original nature of the species. They seem to be more aware of who they are, of their impulses, opinions, and desires, and are motivated not by need gratification, but by growth, expression, and development of the self. 4, problem centering. As self-actualizers have fulfilled their basic needs, they customarily feel an obligation or duty that is centered on others. They are concerned with the philosophical or ethical issues and live in the widest possible frame of reference. This seems to create a sense of serenity regarding the smaller concerns of life. 5, the quality of detachment, the need for privacy. An ability to remain undisturbed by difficult circumstances allows them to retain their dignity even in undignified surroundings and situations. Solitude is appreciated and even sought after. Autonomy, number 6. Independence of culture and environment. Will, active agents. The self-actualized are ruled by the laws of their own character more than the dictates of society. They do not depend on external suppliers for their fulfillment, but actively pursue the development of their own potentialities through their inner resources. 7, continued freshness of appreciation. Self-actualizing people have the wonderful capacity to appreciate again and again, freshly and naively, the basic goods of life with awe, pleasure, wonder, and even ecstasy. Coupled with this is an almost constant sense of gratitude. 8. The mystic experience, the peak experience. Experiences of transcendence of self, from intense to mild, are common. These include a sense of limitless horizons opening up to the vision and a loss of placing in time and space. The experience transforms the experience transforms and strengthens the subject in daily life. I'll read 8 again just because I stumbled through it. The mystic experience, the peak experience. Experiences of transcendence of self, from intense to mild, are common. These include a sense of limitless horizons opening up to the vision and a loss of placing in time and space. The experience transforms and strengthens the subject in daily life. 9. Cannot pronounce this German word. I'll give it a shot. Gemeinschaftlichgefühl. I don't know, but that's the word. And it means a sense of unification, sympathy, and affection for humanity. Concern for the welfare of humanity. I'll spell it though. It's spelled Gemeinschaftssgefühl. Number 10. Deep and more profound interpersonal relations. Self-actualizers are capable of great love, more empathy, more perfect interconnections, and more obliteration of the ego boundaries than are common for normal people. Regarding amount of friends, they prefer quality over quantity. Number 10 again. Deeper and more profound interpersonal relationships. Self-actualizers are capable of great love, more empathy, more perfect interconnections, and more obliteration of the ego boundaries than are common for normal people. Regarding amount of friends, they prefer quality over quantity. 11. The democratic character structure. They are democratic in the deepest possible sense, giving sincere respect and appreciation for everyone, regardless of class, political persuasion, education, ethnicity, or color, or any of the other things that are often marginalized in society, or identities and stuff like that. 12. Discrimination between means and ends, between good and evil. The self-actualized do not display the chaos, the confusion, the inconsistency, or the conflict. In their ethical dealings that afflict the average person. Okay. The self-actualized do not display the chaos, the confusion, the inconsistency, or the conflict in their ethical dealings that afflict the average person. They know and do what is right. Concerning means and ends, they can appreciate and enjoy the means, the doing for its own sake, not only for the end that they hope to achieve. It's really good. 13. Philosophical, unhostile sense of humor. Characteristically, they prefer the humor of the real, laughing at human beings in general when they are foolish or forget their place in the universe or try to be big when they are actually small. Their jokes are often educational in an easy way, like parable or fable. 14. Creativeness. All self-actualized people displayed this quality, without exception, but not always in the usual sense. It is as if this special type of creativeness begin, let's start that over. 14, creativeness. All self-actualized people displayed this quality without exception, but not always in the usual sense. It is as if this special type of creativeness, being an expression of healthy personality, is projected out upon the world or touches whatever activity the person is engaged in. Whatever one does can be done with a certain attitude, a certain spirit that arises out of the nature of the character of the person performing the act. And lastly, 15, resistance to enculturation, the transcendence of any particular culture. While self-actualized people will not usually make a show of being against their particular culture, they do resist enculturation in a deep and meaningful way when society forces upon them constraints and inhibitions that restrict their growth. Maslow states, on the whole, the relationship of these healthy people with their much less healthy culture is a complex one. Very interesting article. Oh, wow, 20 minutes. I hope there was some value there for someone. I definitely get a lot of value out of those things. They're very inspiring to me. Yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you.